Hey guys, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch. This is the project we're making today. This is a cute little box. We are using the Turtle Friends stamp set. We're actually using the bundle. So we're using the punch and the stamp set and then One Happy Family. This does have its own box template. It is box template 71. And now we're going to make it. Okay, so let's start with the stamping. We're going to be using our stamping mat because this is a photopolymer stamp set. I don't know how to position this so that you can see it. Probably like that, right? Okay, so let's start with the greeting. Just for you, we're using Memento ink. And then we want to stamp the turtle. And I'm going to show you in a couple minutes all the items that will fit in this little box. You could use it for Easter if you'd like. Although the turtle's not very Eastery, is he? Okay, so now let's go ahead and stamp his shell. We're using Soft Succulent. So here's the shell. I'm going to use my paper trimmer to cut the greeting. I'm going to trim a little bit at the bottom. We don't have a punch that currently will cut out a greeting like this. We have some dies, framelits, dies, but so many of my customers don't have those or don't want to get those out just to cut a greeting. So I'm like you. I like using the paper trimmer just to cut the greeting out. I would say I would like a punch again because y'all remember the classic label and the word window. Yeah, so I'm voting for another punch that will cut greetings out. I'm using two colors of Stampin' Blend markers. I'm using Crumb Cake and Soft Succulent. And as I'm coloring, I'm going to remind you all the measurements of this project are on my free PDF on my website. It has a supply list in case you want to order anything. And it has all the measurements as well as the box template, okay? And it's free. And if you can't find it on my blog, just send me an email. This is my full-time job, and I love it. It'll be 20 years in October. We're going to have to do something big, right? October 30th is my official anniversary date with Stampin' Up. So I had 30 years with my husband last November, and it'll be 20 years with Stampin' Up in October. I used to say, no, I still say it. My house was a whole lot cleaner before I discovered stamping and sewing. In fact, I don't know what I did with my time. Most of it was with the kids because I started paper crafting right before my kids started middle school. So let me think about this. Nope, I take it back. I started scrapbooking when they were in elementary school because I remember making Chase's scrapbook of his younger years. Okay, on this one I didn't color the toenails, but I decided to on this one. So you can do what you prefer. And I'm not going to use the Wink of Stella on this one just because we're kind of sort of calling this one a dude. The other turtle projects, I made them girls. Okay, so there's our stamping. We are done with that part. So we're going to take our circle and add it to our scallop circle. I don't think that I have used soft succulent very much. It's more of a blue-green, right? I don't know, maybe that's not right. I'm going to take this piece of Designer Series paper and I'm going to round the edge on one side, okay? Just on the bottom, okay? We'll set this aside for now. And now for the box. So this is what the template looks like. So we're going to be following that. I'm going to get my Simply Scored scoring tool. So this is 71. All of the other 70 are over on my website. You can use the search box to find them. Just when you type in the search box, type in box template 70, for example, and just wait a second. Don't press enter. Just hover over it and it should bring it up, okay? So we're going to place this on the 7.5 inch side. I like to call this the portrait side. And I'm going to score it at 2.5 inches on both sides. So I'm just going to completely flip it around and do 2.5 again. Okay. Now on the landscape side, the 10-inch side, I'm going to score it at 2.5, 5, and 7.5. Now you may have already seen that one score line there, and that is because I folded it to put it in my my clear bag that I use to organize everything. So I'm just burnishing with my bone folder. Okay, so now this, I'm going to place it in the portrait mode on my desk because that's how my template is, okay? So I put 10 inches is going down, 7.5 inches is going across. So you want to cut based on the template. So I'm going to turn this direction and I'm going to cut all the way down to that second score line. Now you can do this on your trimmer if you want. So this is the top of the box, okay? So you'll see this. This is the one we're gonna round, okay? I like to do this first so that I don't get confused, like if the phone rings or the dog barks or someone walks in here. If this is done, then I don't get confused about where I'm at, okay? So now we're gonna cut off this whole section here. Okay, that's trash. Actually, I'll save that. I can cut those scallop circles out with that piece. And cut. Okay, so now you'll notice there's a line here straight across because this is the second block. So what I'm going to do is cut half off of these two blocks. Okay, there's no score line there, and there's no right or wrong way. Just cut half of it off, or 3/4, or it really needs to be half, but it doesn't have to be straight, because we're going to be angle cutting those anyway, okay? So then down here at the bottom, we're going to cut up to the score line. And the same thing here, cut up to the score line. And then we're going to whack off half of those as well, okay? So just cut and cut, okay? So now here is our template, or our box, not our template, the box. So one thing we want to do is just angle cut these pieces here. So just like that, fold that back so I don't accidentally cut it. Actually, I didn't get in the corner there. Ruh-roh. Did I just cut my box? No, I didn't. Whew, that was close. One more right here. Now, let me show you. So that's how it looks, okay? So what we're going to do is add our adhesive to these 4 tabs, okay? So I'm going to use my liquid glue, and I'm going to have to hold it for a second to let it dry. you either want to use tear and tape or liquid glue because it really needs to stick, okay? So I'm going to hold that for a second. And then hold this one for a second. Okay, that should be good, I think. Now we're going to do the same thing to these two, okay? So, liquid glue. And I'm only going to do one at a time on this one because I don't want to mess up. I was a little generous with the glue, wasn't I? Once we get these sides attached, I'm going to show you what fits in here. And now this one. So I'm going to reach in there to add the adhesive on this one. It's kind of hard to see what I'm doing, but okay, I'm going to hold this for a second, let it dry. While that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and add my Designer Series paper to this piece here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is fold the sides in, not fold them, squeeze in them. We're going to squeeze the sides in. That's why you want to make sure that you use really good adhesive so that they fold in, squeeze in really easily. But now I'm going to open that back up because I want to show you what's going to fit in there because you can't put some big candy bar. But these are the little Dove chocolates. These are Dove dark chocolates. And so you can see it fits perfectly. Let's take those out. We can put some Hi-Chews in there. If you don't know what a Hi-Chew is, you should go get one, get a bag. They're really good. My husband and I love them. Okay, so I put 3 in there. It will actually hold more than 3. It will hold several Hershey Kisses. These little trolleys, we love trolleys. Rolos, any little snack size candy will fit in there, okay? Just make sure you add your candy before you tie your ribbon around it. And that's what we're going to do now. I've got 20 inches of the soft, succulent, open weave ribbon. And let's see if I can get this. If you want, you could use a magnet or you could use a Velcro dot to hold this closed. So you don't have to use the ribbon to hold it closed. But I like using the ribbon. Plus, there's a lot of people that have pacemakers and can't be around magnets. My daddy is one of them. So I try to be mindful of all that stuff. But y'all do know I do use magnets quite a bit. And Velcro. But this box is little enough that the ribbon works perfectly, I think. Okay, I could fiddle with that forever, but I won't. So I'm going to take my little turtle and add it to the middle. And I'm going to use my Stampin' Dimensionals. Let's see. I hope I didn't just hit the camera. And let's see. Actually, I did not add. What I'm going to do is add the turtle. Well, we're going to add the circle first to the front. And what we're doing is we're putting the dimensionals on each side of the ribbon. So that way it's exactly where we want it. And then we're going to add the turtle. Okay. So put this in the middle, try to center it. That ribbon's driving me crazy. It's not cooperating. And then this is going to get added actually with liquid glue. We're going to pop up the greeting. So just put a little bit of glue on the shell. So cute. And then a mini dimensional on the back. And we have our embellishment to add, and then we'll be done. So let me just move this stuff out of the way. Yep, so add the greeting down here. Okay, I don't like where that dimensional is, so I'm going to remove it and put it down here. I want to add it where it's between his feet. And now we're going to add our little embellishments. And it looks like I'm out of the small ones, so we'll use the large ones. But for this one, I think I prefer the smaller ones, but it's okay. It'll be fine. And I'm using this darker color. Yeah, I'm using the darker color instead of that light color. I think that's the evergreen color, but they both look good, don't they? Okay, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and go over and print your free PDF on my website. Thanks so much. Have a great day.